3v3 and putting on a good show for us. I have to say, though, that I do expect Rogue to come out on top in this matchup and make at least the start of that lower bracket run for them. As they've got, I think the significant edge in the 3s. They're going to, I think, have a slight edge in the 2s, and 1v1, maybe that'll go AllMid's way, but I don't think it'll be by a significant margin.
Yeah, the 1v1 both teams have been fielding different players for. Over on the side of AllMid, they've switched between Flitz, who took on Daniel yesterday, and who's Chronic down in that lower bracket, and to good effect. As for Rogue, it has been Aqua and Taroko, who we haven't seen Taroko ever since his, I believe, loss in the upper bracket in the very first round. So maybe both these teams are now settled. Maybe no more surprises to come over there. Gyro, however, expect to see him for the 2s, and this is why, because he's such a great playmaker.
Yeah, brilliant patience from Gyro. He baits in the challenge and then outplays the challenge, but doesn't just do that, he also gets it into the backboard where the goalkeeper can't reach and sets up an unmissable shot for the ever-reliable Taroko, coming in as third man for the finish.
So for those of you joining us who didn't get a catch yesterday's games, where it works is this, as the shot will be turned away. A little bit of a late reaction, but still very well positioned. So I'll now finally get to explain this. We're starting off with 3s. Afterwards, the losing team gets to select either 1v1 or 2v2. And then after that, the remaining game mode that has been played must be played for game 3. After that, whoever has just lost, which if it continues like this, very much looking like AllMid, can select whatever the game mode was not previously played for their next game. Right now, AllMid, as you predicted, up against Rogue.
Yeah, take notes. That's how you play the ball out of defense towards a teammate who's already upfield. Taroko upfield because he's just 50-50'd in the midfield, and Aqua's able to spot him, play the ball just in front of him. That's so much more useful than shooting from that kind of distance that the goalkeeper would easily have covered. Much harder to cover the pass and react to that from closer range.
What we can look forward to, actually, as Flitz looks to go low and turns it into the bottom corner. What a shot that is from Flitz.
Yeah, great placement. Bit of a mistake there from Gyro. Trying to control the ball, trying to get it up the back wall, trying to keep it in the corner. But instead, he's kicked out into the middle and given an immediate uncontested shot. So whether that was entirely on Gyro, not sure. There were 2 Rogue players in the area, and that can sometimes get a bit confusing. But certainly, Rogue making a bit of a mistake there. The immediate punish from AllMid.
We can really look forward to today, Johnny, is that this is our last best of 5 under this format. We move to best of 7. There's a lot of egos that might get involved in that best of 7 where you're going to run it back over and over again.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, great lift on the ball there from Aqua. He pre-flips onto the wall and then arrows underneath the ball so that he can get that little kick up into the air over the goalkeeper with the finishing touch. Maybe actually was a man back there for AllMid, but not close enough to react to this. And now, 2-goal gap opened up once again. It seems like it's Rogue against Rogue in this first game. Not sure AllMid will have those comebacks, but hold on a second, they might have another one here. Rogue have given them some opportunities. Often has been. Another goal coming in for AllMid, and that was just a quick reaction there from Angel. Taroko not sure whether he should challenge, not sure whether he should cover the net, and when you're doing something in between, you're not really doing a lot of anything. And loose defending from Rogue, actually creating chances for AllMid on multiple occasions. Yeah, sorry everybody who's live on stream. Just realized now that you guys can't hear Shogun. It's a real shame because he's actually been providing gems of knowledge, and I'm sure you guys are always expecting that kind of thing from Shogun, but for now, I'm the only person who can enjoy that. So you'll just have to remain jealous, and together we'll see if Rogue can close out this first game. I talked earlier on about how I think they're the favorites, but I really think that they still need to win this. They should win this 3v3. They are winning this 3v3. Taroko gets a hat trick. But it is a must-win. We've seen how easy it can swing in the other team's favor. If you lose that first game, now they're in control. They're the team who are picking the match in that very last game of a series. If it goes to game 5, that's a dangerous place to go if you're trailing against a team like AllMid, and they've got that 1v1 specialist. Rogue don't have a 1v1 specialist, but they've definitely got competitive 1v1 players in Aqua and Sirocco. All three of them combining, well, both of them I should say, combining well with Gyro to control the 3v3 for the most part in defense, but they have had more than enough of an offensive prowess to counterbalance that. Sirocco now wanting a little bit more of an assist role as well as the goals he's already scored today. Really, Rogue should just be trying to take this one as carefully as they can. This is essentially a best of 1 in this 3v3 portion. Recoveries need to be focused on and need to be
probably a computer, like an F1 car that he has, and like a fan to make sure he's like kept cool on the island.
I would say the computer, yeah, definitely. That's one of them. I feel like that's for most people that play this game. I'd say my cats, maybe. And then my girlfriend, probably.
Probably something F1 related. Maybe like a Rocket League car.
No.
Nice little Fennec or whatever you use now. And then maybe like his girlfriend. I don't know. Like the name of your girlfriend? I'm not sure.
That was pretty inaccurate. I don't think I would ever get a Rocket League car. I think I don't know, tattoos, something cool. I don't know, just something random that looks cool. Dragon, something cool. I don't know.
I feel like I've told you this. I don't know that.
Have you? I can't remember, but I think like anything meat, like a meat lovers, maybe.
Yeah, I like that,
Actually?
but usually my main is like pineapple. I'm a big pineapple.
No, I was gonna say that.
So, yeah, you should have said that. I swear we talked about that once, but it's not.
creo que la mentalidad es lo más importante, porque sin tener una mentalidad no llega a ningún lado, porque cualquier jugador puede llegar a Super Sonic Legend, pero la diferencia entre un Super Sonic Legend a un jugador profesional es muy grande, literalmente muy grande, ya porque siendo jugador profesional tenéis que tener muchos factores en cuenta, tenéis que estar siempre preocupado de hacer todo lo que sea dentro de la cancha, tenéis que hacerlo perfecto. Literalmente cualquier error que podáis hacer en el partido te va a costar un gol hasta el partido. Y yo creo que en la mentalidad, bueno, los nervios siempre hay que estar tratando de controlarlo, hay que resolver ese problema si es que tú te pones nervioso al jugar o no sé, sentís que o te bajoneás ya de por sí.
Siento que la comunidad es como un compañero, vos lo tenés siempre al lado, es muy fiel y que siempre cuando tenés que jugar torneos siempre está al lado tuyo, y es algo muy bueno que siempre está bueno tenerlo y valorarlo mucho.
Y alguien que se quiera ser profesional, yo le diría que lo primero que tiene que ir cambiando es su mentalidad, enfocarse en mejorar y no tanto en jugar ranked. Y las ranked ya de por sí hay que tomarlas como para mejorar tus defectos dentro del juego, y ya de por sí empezar a saber que tenéis que ver replays, tenéis que ser súper dedicado al juego. Mi consejo en específico sería anotar las cosas. Si es que tú querís, no sé, si te dais cuenta que estáis rotando mal y queréis rotar por otra parte, anótalo en un cuadernito o en algo que te acordéis, y anótalo, cosas que te acordéis, ¿cachai? Dentro del juego estoy pendiente a eso, a hacerlo bien, y por lo menos eso yo lo hacía, yo lo sigo haciendo como para acordarme y progresar más rápido.
Bueno, yo siento que para volverse jugador profesional tenés que ser consciente de muchas cosas. La verdad que buenos se vuelven muy pocos, y la verdad que nada, si querés volverte un jugador profesional tenés que tener en cuenta que, como decía Reis, tenés que tener una mentalidad muy buena, tenés que no solo una semana, sino todo el tiempo del mundo te tenés que dedicar todos los días, meterle, porque no puedes aflojar ni un día. Tenés que ser muy constante, y la verdad que bueno, si crees que puedes llegar a ser bueno, convencete y demostrarlo.
Yo creo que lo que lo hace diferente es como, además de la comunidad que ya de por sí es sana.
Creo que Rocket League es un juego muy sano. La verdad que competirlo está muy bueno, desde adentro se siente muy lindo.
Hi, we're back. How are we all doing? Through the power of counting to 100, we have managed to get this all together. Well done there, Twitch chat, as we have got ourselves ready to get into this. For those of you just joining us, the Freeze game is over. We've got a Wands game coming up. Hi, Johnny. How you doing?
Hello. I'm doing good. I'm just glad you're back, to be honest. I mean, you left me there for a bit, but then I went away and I found him and I brought him back.
It was a whole introspective moment for you there. You had to try and figure out what life would be like.
I was just thinking to myself,
around.
I could continue casting by myself, but really, what's the point? I'm going to go find Shogun. Everybody's missing Shogun. I'm going to go get him because this is not the same without you. Now we've found him, brought him back. Chat's counted to 100, and we're ready to get into the next
That was all
match.
part of the ritual, the routine required counting to 100.
Of course, we predicted what was going to happen, though. So AllMid have picked 1v1, and they're using their 1v1 specialist. But a bit of an interesting twist. Rogue, who used Aqua yesterday against Daniel in the 1v1 and lost very, very badly, they've decided to go with Taroko here. And I think if they have to do this twice, if they have to play Chronic twice in 1v1, which I think they will in this series, then they might give it one player might go and scout him out, and then the other player might give it a try later. So this could be a little bit of investigative journalism from Taroko.
Let's see, he's got the notepad and pen out, and he's ready to find out what he can on the scouting report as Chronic. Just going to take it back to his own corner. I've been obviously loving this over and over again. So many Wands games. Let's see what Chronic's got as he just drifts it all around, tries to get Taroko a bit wobbly. And Taroko does stand firm, but he's very much against the offense. Trying to try and turn this back around. Good catch initially, but realized there wasn't enough there. Time to back down, reboost.
I think this is a game that Taroko has a decent shot in. I reckon if these guys played 10 times, I think Taroko wins 3 or 4 out of 10. But Chronic definitely has the edge. He's very successful 1v1 player in North America historically, and even at the moment has recent success to his name. So he is the favorite in this matchup, but Taroko stylistically should be better against Chronic than the theoretical match against Daniel that didn't happen yesterday because they decided to throw Aqua in to be eaten alive by Daniel. Taroko is going to be looking to try and capitalize on any mistakes that Chronic makes, which shouldn't, I think, be too many, but he's made one there. And look at Taroko sniping the long shot.
Yeah, Taroko needs to make sure that all those shots are as powerful as possible. Had a couple of these yesterday where just didn't quite catch it well enough and allowed his opponent time to get back. This one, anywhere near the same. But I do agree with you. Chronic, he's been brought in specifically for this. This is the one where you want him to really step up to the challenge, but that's a great kickoff actually from Taroko. Chooses not to try and take up the wall, didn't like the angle he's working with. Instead, he sets up, wipes out Chronic, who does enough to bounce his opponent into it, and Chronic's actually missed on the follow-up. Interesting exchange, and Taroko's going to look to try and take over again.
Taroko's got technically an open net. He's hit it way wide, though. That was open on the left-hand side, but both players had tough open nets there. They needed to be quick with it. They needed to be accurate with it as well. It's not like the entire net was open. But at this level, you expect players to be able to shoot accurately at any point in the goal from anywhere in the pitch if they have a free shot. Neither player doing it there.
Taroko trying to find some angles to work with, and Chronic has to take some extra steps to all of this. Taroko's done phenomenal, just never fully committed to any sort of play. And Chronic's had to respect that. One thing we also haven't seen from Taroko is any dive-in challenges. Anyone that was with us yesterday saw a couple of those from Ray's Ball. He's been pretty comfortable so far to just let Chronic do what he wants to do. Again, that Chronic maybe isn't either attempting or executing all that much.
Wow.
He's really getting his opportunities, and Taroko, just pure patience. He's getting his chances.
The key here was to avoid being demoed on the landing. He was very close to Chronic when he landed on the ground there. But he used all of his boosts, accelerated just enough to stay ahead of him, get the shots off. And as we approach halftime, we have a very low-scoring game. A game in Taroko's favor, and he might be able to add to the tally here. Shoots first time, and he shoots into the net.
And Taroko has definitely got the advantage right now in the kickoffs. Just crushes this to the left side every single time. On this one, rather than rolling up the wall, he can just take the first-time shot. So Taroko rocking and rolling, not in a position that we expected him to be, but at a position that he's currently thriving in. Let's see, different angle kickoff. Once again, Taroko's looking pretty good. He's got over the top. The bounce, though, off the bump means there is no follow-up, but Taroko having the better of those exchanges, and it's up to Chronic to make some adjustments.
Yeah, Chronic there going for the wave dash recovery. He wanted to try and limit Taroko's kickoff. Just try and control it, and he did control it sufficiently to get back in the way of the shot. Taroko here with the early challenge. That's something you mentioned. He doesn't want to do that too often. He's quite a back foot defensive player, reactive player. But there he didn't have a lot of boost, and he decided, I don't want to be doing a lot of defending with this low boost against Chronic. I'd rather just stick a foot in, see if it works, and keep Chronic guessing.
That's the first time Chronic's really had a chance to set up for quite a while now, but Taroko's defense has just been so good. This time it goes for the crunching tackle. No more fake outs that time around, but he has got Chronic biting on a lot of those feint challenges.
Yeah, there it is again.
And it just means that it's a much lower percentage play from Chronic. It's never going to catch Chronic out, but it gives Taroko a much easier time in defense. And when you've got that 2-goal lead, that's all you need. Force Chronic to go and do all the work, make him make the right decisions.
Yeah, Chronic not really showing any aerial game at the moment. He does have some to dive into. That's a nice little power slide turn, tight to the ball, not giving Taroko an easy challenge. Taroko dives in anyway. Chronic beats him to it, and he is back within one.
Yeah, that's finally the mistake from Taroko. Just thought that he could maybe get there a bit earlier than he could. Finally out of the positioning, and Chronic does make him pay. Very much needed as well. 1 minute 24 left on the clock, and that does mean, by the way, that the next game is guaranteed to be twos. As Taroko spotted it, and Chronic, what a recovery off a, well, a bad jump.
Yeah, Chronic meant to dodge there, but he accidentally jumped. He's not going to be able to control this 50-50 well enough to score immediately, but he's got a great position for himself. Chronic going to take his time here. Will we see the off-the-wall play? He's cut in field for most of these, but now he does indeed go for the flip reset. He's got it. He decides to go low with the shot. Taroko's there to meet him. Still Chronic fighting for that back corner boost control. Both players trying to get it as it spawns. Taroko's the one who picked it up.
Man, Taroko just does not blink in those situations. just happy to sit there and force Taroko. Oh, wait a second. That bounce is not nice for Chronic, and it gives Taroko time. In a very nice position. 40 seconds. Chronic, he struggles. Taroko off the shot. 2-goal lead is back.
Yeah, Taroko has proven to be too difficult to break down. Chronic's struggling to get his offense going. And this is why Taroko is a little bit more comfortable in this type of matchup. Chronic doesn't have the huge aerial plays that a player like Daniel has these days in 1v1. That's something that is so much more difficult to defend against. Very few people in the world can have a reactive defensive style and have any chance against a player like Daniel, but Chronic is a bit more grounded, and if you're going to play reactive defense, you'd rather be up against a grounded player. That's what Taroko is currently thriving against. Chronic in reverse will pick up one more goal.
That'll work.
To the demo. Very heads-up play there by Chronic to slot that one backwards.
Yeah, just spotted Taroko on the way back, having absolutely none of it as he crunches through Taroko's car. Taroko, who in defense has been unstoppable. With 18 seconds left. Here.
Oh,
that's better.
Yeah, he gets a better angle there. Didn't push it. Decided to kind of cut it infield, and really good patience there from Chronic. Taroko is beaten. How's the recovery looking? It's not good. Chronic's going to have a run through the goal and a tie game.
I love this from Chronic. He keeps the eye out, and the moment he spotted Taroko on the early jump, didn't go for net anymore, just widens where he wants the air dribble to go. And as long as it's away from Taroko, you can do the rest of the work later. 6 seconds left. There's the reason why I love ones. That lead disappears, and Taroko is now the one up against it.
Well, look at this. We're going to have some 0-second shenanigans as well. By the looks of things, Taroko not interested in giving Chronic any space on that play.
Let's see what the kickoff's going to be. That's better for Taroko. Does come in from a negative angle though, so Chronic's gonna maybe test his luck, buy himself some time, and pick up those small boosts on his way back. Doesn't have anything though. Taroko from the front angle, and that means he can set Chronic up. Well played. Taroko understood the boost situation and took advantage.
As soon as Chronic flipped away from the play, Taroko knew he had a bit of time to build up speed, get the ball popped up in the air, and then start flying towards Chronic. He knew where Chronic would be, landed the air dribble bump, and he gets the win first try, so we're guaranteed to go to 2v2 now. I think sweep is very possible all of a sudden.
Oh, yeah.
We're not getting that game 4, which would have probably been a 1v1 pick from AllMid once again. First try, Taroko takes him down.
That is massive, especially as well, because we might see that one played up against later on, but let's talk about how good that shout was to Taroko, because we saw Aqua play yesterday, but I think this was the play style that was needed, especially against a Chronic who was not executing his plays as well as we expected to see. Just having that guiding, gentle hand of Taroko allowed Chronic just to continue down that path rather than trying to force a pace that Chronic might have enjoyed a bit more.
Yeah, it's why Rogue are so dangerous. They've got two capable 1v1 players in Aqua and Taroko, and they're both very different in how they play the game. Taroko's a very defensive player. Aqua's much more about just popping off, getting into offense, and getting the ball into the air. Taroko's very grounded. So it's a difficult thing to be able to cover. Do you have a player who can beat both? Chronic seeming to struggle a bit against Taroko, who's just sitting back for the majority of the game and throwing in the occasional aggressive challenge, which is very important to notice as well. Taroko didn't just sit back in goal and wait for Chronic 100% of the game. He did challenge 1 or 2 times, especially when he's in low boost, and that's a great idea to confuse Chronic and to keep him guessing. And, you know, we're going to see more Chronic here. He's going to be playing with Angel in the 2v2. Match point for Rogue. Gyro and Aqua take it to the field.
Yep, it's going to be Taroko giving the high fives on his way off the field and sending his teammates on to hopefully finish the job for them. So the way that this format works as well, now that we're going to the 2v2 game, if we need that 4th game, so if Rogue lose this, they will get to select either 3s or 1s to be game number 4, which means if we do need game 5, then that will obviously be Rogue's as well. So all of the cards over in their hands, even if they lose this, they still get to select what we end up playing afterwards. Angel up against Gyro, who, well, that was easy enough for him, really. Might even try and dance around a couple more players. Sets up incredibly well. It's a bit of a slow play so far as Angel takes back over, but Gyro is just very easily biding his time. Reset off Chronic. He couldn't have this earlier. and it's not going to get any easier against Aqua's defense either.
Yeah, well recovery by Aqua. He's going to try and go all the way himself. Double tap off the backboard, goes wide. That was absolutely perfect defense from Aqua, who's all alone against Chronic, who is coming out in mid-air with a dunk and bad intentions, and Angel synergized well with Chronic. This is the substitute ones specialist coming in for twos as well. And Chronic, actually a player who's qualified for RLCS 3's events this season. He's got a bit of experience there, although not on this AllMid roster, who do play with there. There are other players, Curie and Flitz, for that, as we've seen. Here's Aqua again, wants to triple with the reset as well, but he misses, and that is a 2v1. Angel and Chronic against Gyro.
Yeah, they didn't get enough time to really set it up. I love that Gyro moved forward a little bit, forced the pace to up, rather than potentially getting set up for a demo on the goal line. So very good heads-up play, and now on the opposite side, Gyro skies the first shot. Chronic has to avoid getting hit as well. Aqua fully aware that that play wasn't really on. Another low-scoring game for us. Surprisingly, the threes game was maybe the most haphazard as it came to defense. Both the other games since, it's been a lot better, which means you need plays like that. That was so close.
Look at Aqua, even after committing so hard for a shot, which was so close to going in, he's recovering, he's stealing the boost, he's got a backup plan. Oh, but does he have a plan for this? Angel bumps Aqua in the way, Chronic catches the ball, sticks it in the top corner. He didn't read where the pass was going, but boy, did he deal with it well.
Man, just stopped. Gyro goes on a vacation after that one, and Chronic can just slot it in after the fact. That's how you deal with a play where, you know, you're maybe not close enough, or you're too close to start vertically. Oh my goodness, that is so cheeky.
Wow.
Gyro, well, not gonna really score many easier than that one, but some blushes over on the faces of AllMid.
Yeah, Chronic saw that he was going to be under fire there with the attempted bump. Aqua fakes the kickoff, goes straight for Chronic. Chronic forced to jump early. Gyro hits it past him. A really well disguised kickoff strategy there by Rogue. Gyro cheating up close, so it's very hard to read that. It's hard to predict that the fake kickoff is coming through. You're more likely to see that when a goalkeeper is sitting at the back of the field.
Here we go. Aqua chooses not to take it to wall. Instead, he wants to go immediately for the net. Actually, might have taken that away from Gyro, who could have moved in. Instead, Aqua fully in on the corner pressure. It's Chronic. Yeah, we know where he's off to. That wall needs a play, and Gyro, even more aware of anyone else. Make sure he gets to it very quick. It's just been shutdown after shutdown. Nobody really getting a chance to set up, which means Chronic has to give himself a lot more work to do, and almost found a way past, but Aqua far too good on that defensive line. Now tries himself, first touchline down, second, third, fourth afterwards. Did enough to at least get a bump on Chronic. But now we're getting into a bit of a showcase here. Angel's chance. Maybe not the player that we expected to see that take all the way past, but it didn't come too far off.
Yeah, Angel, a player with a bit of 1v1 background as well, so not too difficult to see him making big plays. Another one saved. Gyro with a couple of good saves now. Saw two excellent stops from Aqua earlier on. Angel going to test Gyro's goalkeeping with low boost. Gyro able to just deflect it into the crossbar, but Chronic shot leaves a lot to be desired in the follow-up.
And not only did he miss, he gave it to Gyro, who was in no man's land over there on the backboard. Chronic tries to make it up, and that's the post, and that's the goal.
Wait.
Angel will finish it off.
What just happened to Aqua? He's got zero boost, but he just fell off the post. I mean, he kind of pre-jumped in slow motion for this, and the ball wasn't on target, so he's made to look a little bit silly there. But we're not done yet, as AllMid take the lead in the 2v2.
AllMid looking to at least avoid the sweep for now. Reminder again that this is in the lower bracket. Whoever loses this is out of the tournament. Chronic, there you go. Looked a little bit shaky with some of the previous plays, but that was a return to form. And taking some time, avoiding the bump from Aqua. And Gyro again tested. This time much more comfortable than the one that Chronic let him off of earlier on. And this is now an awkward spot. Gyro couldn't quite see the ball quite past as Angel back over to Chronic. No boost. Just give that ball back over to Gyro, see if there's a mistake in there for you. Angel moves back in. And that timer ticking away here, Johnny. This is a great position for AllMid to find themselves in as we go for the Doomsy dish. And I'm very upset that that's not in.
A composure coming out of AllMid. Not all-inning in any of these attacks. Keeping options open to them, but still putting shots on net. Still letting the clock do the work for them. Look at Chronic. It looks like he's playing with more than 100 boost as he forces another touch. Angel might look a bit awkward here, but absolutely slams.
There's nothing awkward about that.
Deep into the half. It's bounced up, though.
Yeah, that was actually too successful, if anything, and that does give Rogue an extra opportunity. Angel this time around, though, no theatrics to it. Puts the ball down, and that's enough to not only to win a game of drop shot, but also to get you game number 3. Which leaves the Rogue here. What would you take if you're over on Rogue? Well, I was going to ask you, but we found out. Yeah, they've already selected freeze. There was no hesitation.
Yeah, they picked up a win in the 1v1, but I don't think they want to take on Chronic again in ones. They know that he's extremely dangerous in the 1v1 game mode, so they'll take that one win against him and then go right back to 3v3, where I think Rogue have got the biggest advantage. But remember that if they do lose that one, we can't see threes again in game 5.
I think if we go to game 5, is it 2s or 1s? Surely they go back to 2s then. 1s. Do you think 1s is now off the board despite the win?
Yeah, I think they're going to go back to 2s, even though they lost the 2v2 and won the 1v1. I think Rogue are trying to avoid 1v1 here. I think that's the strategy, because you're not a team with a 1v1 specialist, you're a team with 1v1 experience. So AllMid probably going to be the more comfortable team in that matchup. Chronic did take 1 L, but yeah, I don't think we're seeing any more 1v1 this series. I think it's going to be 2s if we go there, but my prediction is that 3v3 will be a win for Rogue. They are the better 3s team. They were by far the better 3s team in game 1 of this series. So let's see if they can prove that now and win it in 4.
Well, let's find out. We've got all the players in. They are ready to go. And AllMid up again. I mean, reverse sweeps are usually pretty hype, Johnny. A reverse sweep where your opponent is selecting the last 2 game modes is something ridiculous. And I am so for it if it can happen. But we've definitely raised the bar in terms of overall difficulty. Let's raise the bar as we get into game number 4. Winner of this moves into our best of 7s lower bracket finals. If you lose it, though, you are out, but you've still raised incredibly good money for charity. So well done to all of these teams.
And these teams really fighting for this. You might wonder, will AllMid have the guts to come back? Well, they're really just a team who are riding a ridiculous wave of momentum right now, and seeing how far it'll take them. Already confirming that top 4 is everything this team wanted from the tournament, but now they're just going to go for as much as they can take, and they've got a much better start to the game here. Rogue on the back foot. Strong 50-50s coming in from AllMid. But there's a big gap in the middle here. Taroko able to exploit it. Gyro, perfect pass towards him. And you just cannot concede the midfield like AllMid just did. Flitz and Angel vacated the area by, I think, a bit too much there.
Let's remember the first time that we've seen Kiri and Flitz since that opening game of the series, and that was over an hour ago. So they've been free playing ever since then. It has been quite some time. Aqua now off that backboard. Oh, what a good stop that was from Flitz. Keeps the pressure on for his team, but there's the booming clears. You always got to be so worried about this from Rogue because they've got options downfield. Kiri was ready for it. What a shot. That's going to go the whole way. Kiri smashed it.
You have to look out for the big half volley on the back wall. He just single jumped into this one. That just shows how deadly it is to hit the ball to the back wall if an opponent is nearby. He didn't even dodge into that one. He just perfectly timed his jump and completely caught out Rogue's third man.
I love how for all of the mechanics that we've got, and even that one was, subtly mechanical for those of you, might be watching the first time. That's hard. That's timing, that is.
All about timing, yeah. It's all about just being patient, because it's very tempting to jump, or it's very tempting to throw yourself at that ball, but one of the most important things about getting the distance on those wall clears is that you don't rush it. You actually wait for the ball to bounce, and then you hit it. And if you hit it too early, then really you're just going to hit the ball into the ceiling. So you have to make sure that the ball is moving away from the wall before you make contact. That's exactly what Kiri did.
Just grab the half volley. Oh. That one wouldn't have been quite as impressive from Kiri, but still avoids the blushes. Now Kiri off the wall. His teammate heads back. Cole would have been very happy if that one went in, but instead it's Aqua off the wall. Couldn't get the second touch. Was not far off, though.
Yeah, delighted to see a little knock on there from Taroko. Doink, as it's been coined by many before. Something that not many pros like to do. They prefer to dodge into the ball, but Sirocco's showing...
Which
just
he
as
lets
Kiri
us
did.
know about a lot.
Yeah, you can actually get a ton of power on the ball without dodging. You can just jump into it and send that thing flying. That's actually going to be an open net. Perfect pass from Kiri. Angel's there to slot it in. And look at this, AllMid stepping up in threes.
Look at that first touch. Kiri not only keeps the ball moving, but gets himself onto the opposite side at a position that he can hook back in from. That was exceptional by Kiri. And what a performance we are seeing out there. Would not know that they have not been on the field for quite some time. Now it's Gyro off the backboard, has to settle for a setup. Shot is slow and not good enough. So that this was a team riding a wave of momentum. Well, they're coming in this match as up against it as they possibly could be, and they are still stepping up. Proving that even up against adversity, they can still take the game to top-level opponents.
They have been making those 3v3 events in RLCS recently, so this is not a massive shock, but it is an upset. And in a format where both teams know this is going to be the last 3v3 of the series, you would expect Rogue to just play more of a safe strategy and just try and let their consistency, let their experience do the talking. But they've taken some risks here. They have been challenging with third man. They've been leaving some gaps, and they've been punished. But that's a big mistake coming out of AllMid. Angel doing a great job alone at the back, but how about that for a defensive clear?
Yeah, defensive clears have been sort of the MO of this game. Oh, what a touch from Taroko. He's got Aqua in the midfield, and Angel shuts it down. Outstanding defensive performance from Angel, but they're going to need more of it. Kiri has the ball go past them. Now Aqua off the wall, and this is where Aqua's going to do their best work off the ceiling end. Well, I say that, but Aqua had a bit of an argument with the ceiling, and the ceiling won.
Yeah, he tried to get a better landing near the ball, had to rush himself.
Take
He's
two.
taking his time on that play. Kiri did a great job staying with him. That was a tricky play from Aqua. Kiri able to read it the whole way. Now Taroko cuts infield. He's just got one to beat, and that man is Angel, and Angel is able to deflect it wide.
Man, Angel will just not go away on that defensive line. That's some solid power, though. Forces a bit of movement. Take out the keeper, and there you are. Rogue finally get the setup that they needed, and it is all from the off-ball plays.
A fantastic read by Taroko. He knew that it was going to be a Rogue player next up on the ball, so he just turns, takes out the goalkeeper. He's completely unaware, and Rogue are just one goal away now from advancing to that lower final.
Kiri. Oh, that's not good. Almost set up the opponent to try and turn it in. Here's, however, a better midfield challenge. And it splits in. That's a brilliant pass. And the shot just needed 12 boost over on the side of Kiri to enable those adjustments required to put that on net.
Yeah, it was a tough shot with little boost, as you mentioned. But this is still a great position for AllMid to be in. I think if you asked him going into this game, would you take an overtime against Rogue? They're probably going to say yes after the 5-2 loss they suffered in game one. But what they'd rather would be to end it all right here. And that's what Angel's trying to do. He misses, but Flit's got the follow-up, and they've done it, Shogun.
I can't believe it. I'm fairly certain no one from Rogue can either. Look at that from Angel, just straight onto the backboard and just saw the defender and reacted brilliantly. We saw, I believe it was Aqua going for the in and out save. Oh, as we're delayed kickoff coming through. Maybe one more chance. Taroko instantly shut down. But how was that for an adjustment off the backboard? Make sure the in and out save isn't going to work. Gyro with the shot, and Kiri, all right, very assured, putting the ball down. This has to be twos. Surely this has to be twos.
It has to be. Rogue are going to get another choice here. Remember that they were the team who took the first game in this series, which means that AllMid picked the second matchup, and they chose 1v1 and they lost. So the fact that we have gone all the way here to game 4 is because AllMid have just beaten Rogue with their own choice. But Rogue are going to get the choice for the last game, and they can pick between 2s and 1s, and they choose 2s. They want to pick the game mode that they lost earlier, not the one that they took the W in, because they're scared of that chronic 1v1. They don't think it can be easily repeated. They got the win, but it's not an easy one to get again, and they want to prove as well that that 2v2 loss was not going to be a regular occurrence.
Yep, and that is a big shout as well from Rogue. I mean, I think, given how this series has gone, the decision was not as easy as it probably would have been coming into it, especially if you're coming in off a loss in the previous twos, but that just proves how much they respect Chronic and how much maybe the other players just don't want to be that player that's responsible, not wanting to step onto the field solo. And that also might mean that, we're sending in Taroko, so no Aqua this time around. Taroko will step up.
Taroko, yeah, he got them the win in that 1v1 earlier on today. So Roger asking Taroko to carry them here. He won them, obviously, in the 3v3, as did all their players. Took the dub in ones. Now they've got him and Gyro in the 2v2. Not a duo I was expecting. I really thought Aqua would be on the field no matter what. He's,
I think what this was,
difficult player,
is they said, Taroko, do you think you can beat Chronic? Yes, if I have a teammate. And here we go, into the twos game.
Yeah, Taroko is very solid in twos. He's just a reliable player, and that's something that they lacked earlier on when they were playing 2v2. They looked vulnerable, and they were punished. Let's see if Taroko can carry Rogue onwards in the tournament. Gyro, of course, has to step up as well, though. Twos is not a game mode that you can just hard carry at this level.
No, definitely not. It becomes a little bit more of a test of who can get the right mechanics in the right position. It's not very often we get to see high-level twos. Probably the least showcased. There's Angel with the pass over to Chronic and had to boom the ball on target. Not enough power at all. Angel, though, off the angle. It's the same as we had last time, Johnny. A bit of a slower pace start to this. And Gyro just trying to waste some boost, get some players out of position, and maybe set up Taroko to perform their own magic.
Chronic looking to be a problem here. Pre-flips onto the downfield pass. Chronic really was a problem for them last time that they played 2v2. Regularly underestimated, especially with his boost total. His aerial game really came to life after not really being part of his ones matchup at all, but 2v2, he loves it and likes to flex those mechanics. Angel actually demoed Taroko there, who's respawned close to the plate, immediately shuts it down.
Well, Chronic not with anywhere near enough boost to follow that up, but off the demo, might actually consider the chances a bit more. Angel to finish it, and will do.
AllMid are beating Rogue on their own pick again. Gyro had one pre-jump save there, but no chance of making it back to the second one. It's these demos that are catching Rogue out. The same way that Rogue came back in the threes, out getting a taste of their own medicine.
I said it was supposed to be more difficult. AllMid, nobody told AllMid this. They are walking through every single challenge. Taroko off the wall, not going to be able to follow immediately. It gave Angel time off the backboard. Double tap leaves it for Gyro and Chronic. So happy to see it came to him. And now Angel on the counter attack. Nothing to stop them. 2-0. And you have to put the ball in. That shot, no sizzle. So get punished for that.
Yeah, just a terrible shot. Completely free shot there. And Rogue send it straight into the goalkeeper. Chronic not just able to save it, but even saves it in the direction of his teammate downfield. And that's not really a bad attack there for Rogue. They should go for this, but you've got to score it. You need to just hit it into one of the corners, not straight at the goalkeeper. But unfortunately for Rogue, that's exactly what they've done. Now they've got a lot of work to do. And we saw in the 3v3 matchup that just happened how resilient AllMid's defense was.
And how frustrating they might end up being if they can find any more demos. Taroko, again, trying for the solo play. And does that dent your confidence at all as well? Because you get all these setups, that was about as perfect as they were going to get. And
wait.
Still, oh, wait a second,
Okay.
where have the players gone? Johnny, I hope you spotted this because I sure didn't.
Yeah, Taroko just gives it away. He tried to drop it down in the middle, but I don't think he realized how far Gyro was away from the play because Gyro was rotating out. He didn't think that it was an infield pass on the way. And Chronic actually hit that top corner. It was a wide open net, but he decided to send it in the top corner just to prove a point, I guess. Didn't need to do that at all, but big mistakes coming out of Rogue in this game and big plays coming out of AllMid.
Again, they go back to the air dribbles, but again, it's Chronic who is far too good and Gyro back down. Maybe didn't expect Chronic and Chronic and Angel to fall into each other. But still, they've got to start taking these risks at this point. Off the angle, the crossbar will deny this time around. Good boost steal, shot, gets 2 players going. They've got to hurry this up though, as good as this possession is. Oh, that's wasteful again.
Yeah, speculative effort there from Sirocco. He should know that that's never going to go past this defense of AllMid. The mechanics are just too good right now. Angel and Chronic have been matching Rogue, if not bettering them for pace, I would say. And that's a problem that you run into in 2v2. Yes, you can strategically and you can positionally outplay these young mechanical players in 3s, but in 2s, they're just getting dusted repeatedly, and they don't have Aqua to try and swing that in their favor. They're 3 goals down, and they look completely lost for what to do. Chronic crushes another 50-50, and then a mind game! Oh! It looks silly. Sirocco flies by, and so do Rogue's chances. A minute to go, they're down by 4. What a play by the super sub of AllMid.
I mean, just talk about stepping up to the occasion. This has been ridiculous. AllMid proving that them making this event is not a surprise. And they're making it even further should not be a surprise to anybody else. They're a little bit over each other. It's not quite secured yet. Well, that timer running down, they need all of the plays. They need the kickoff plays, they need the out plays, and they need some misplays over on the side of AllMid.
They're just
something that just is not happening. There you go. Chronic over to the ceiling. Let's waste some time.
Yeah, he's
Take it to the corner.
He's had enough. Gyro's pre-jumping this. They know.
They have been watching some football games. Take it to the corner flag.
Oh, well played to AllMid. They've done it. They are actually going to progress in this competition after losing the opening 2 games. They had to beat Rogue in the 3v3, which Rogue picked. They had to beat Rogue in the 2v2, which Rogue picked. And after yesterday, the hard carry from Chronic in the 1v1, it's the other way around for AllMid. Now it's the carry from the team in the other 2 game modes. Well played to them. They continue in the tournament.
And I'm sure this feels amazing for Chronic as well. He was the one brought in for those ones game. Did not see the result he was after, but in this one, fully stepped up and fully deserving of the victory. Reverse sweep